Let's have a discussion. People have questions. They would like answers. Let's talk about the issues. Confront the things that may be difficult to address. The Black narrative.
Because I keep telling people, racism is not a Black issue that white people need to empathize with. Racism is a white issue and a white problem that they need to work on fixing. And in the meantime, we will worry about building our communities. And I think we are seeing, because things have gotten so hideous and so ugly, in some ways, the good thing that's coming out of that is that I am seeing some resolve. I can't tell you how many posts and comments I'm seeing of us talking about circulating the Black dollar, about people telling you to buy Black, websites and apps and things that are coming up to redirect you to spending your money with Black owners. And that's kind of where we are, because we should be fully aware that there's no intent, no authentic intent of repairing what was done to us. And so we're going to have to, again, do it for ourselves. Now, even though I say that, I still feel like they owe us something. I still feel like there should be some restitution for what has happened to us. But I'm excited to see that we are focusing our energy right now on trying to circulate the Black dollar amongst our business.
Absolutely. And let me go ahead and read something to you about Black Wall Street. But as you say, there were many Black Wall Streets. And as my father told me, he said that during, Black Wall Street is just on a town level. But as individuals, white people used to go through Black towns and literally assassinate professional Black people. So this was not just towns. When we look at these books where they talk about lynching, many of those who were lynched were Black professionals. So not only was our wealth robbed from us when we put them into banks, but also our Black professionals were lynched when they showed that they could overcome the slave effects. But Black Wall Street, it said, had 600 businesses, 21 churches, 21 restaurants, 30 groceries, 2 movie theaters, 6 private airplanes, a hospital, a bank, a post office, schools, libraries, and law offices, and a bus system. So when we see, as you're talking about, our condition today, and many times in the history books, when we're coming through the public school system, we were never even told how great we were.
Exactly.
Greetings, brothers and sisters. I just wanted to go over a part of the conversation with myself and Sister Kimberly Jones that was off camera, where we discuss why, as a people, we live for today. We basically have a lot of jewelry and we have nice cars, but we don't really strive to own anything. And there's a reason for that. We have been conditioned as a people to be consumers. And so I want to read how that conditioning took place. And we're going to start off, of course, with the 40 acres and a mule. It says the ex-slaves highly skilled in agriculture never received the 40 acres and a mule they were promised by General O.O. Howard, the white founder of Howard University. In order to build their own independent economic foundation, instead, they were forced into a system that benefited mostly Jewish immigrant merchants who had flooded into the South from Europe after the Civil War to exploit the highly profitable cotton economy. Black farmers were prevented from owning land and were given instead a share of the old plantation lands. They worked as slaves to grow cotton, corn, wheat, and rice as tenant farmers, using debt and usury as the post-slavery whip and chain. Brothers and sisters, I did an interview with Dr. Ridgely of Muhammad's Farm, and one of the most racist organizations that's a part of this whole racist system is the USDA, the United States Department of Agriculture. If you study the USDA and its relationship to black farmers, you will find that they have carried on the policy of not only the destruction of black farmers, but the taking of black land. So I say just go ahead and study that. So let's go on and read more. And I'll start back off with sharecropping system illegally and unscrupulously tied each black farmer to the merchant who supplied him with seeds, tools, food, and clothing. Once the farmer harvested the valuable crop, the merchant sold the products on the international market, reaping astronomical profits. When time came to pay the black cropper, the merchant told him that he had run up a debt for his purchase and that he owed the merchant money. Blacks were enslaved by this system for generations after the end of slavery. On page 25, it talks about Black Wall Street. And check this out. It says blacks had great strides in those 14 years developing private businesses, achieving political offices, and even setting up dozens of all black towns. But white terrorists targeted them for destruction, as in Rosewood, Florida, and Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street, and many, many other lesser known places. Blacks lost billions of investment dollars. Blacks lost billions of investment dollars to whites through these acts of terror. Black businesses were often uninsured because of the racist policies of American insurance companies, so the destruction of a black business was totally unrecoverable. Now understand that if you study anything about these insurance companies, that what they did insure was that if you were lost in the Middle Passage, that they covered that. And that in some situations in that Middle Passage journey that they said took 3 months or more, that we were pushed off of the ship, chained together to escape maybe pirates or maybe just to get the insurance money. So much so that sharks started to follow the slave ships. And is it no or coincidence that the hurricane season follows that same path? This last one gives you a clear understanding of how we were conditioned as a people to be consumers and not producers. Listen to this. Black businesses had no way of enforcing contracts, no way. And all criminal acts against them were legally invisible. Wealth could simply be stolen from blacks at any time and for any reason and by anybody with absolutely no recourse. So, by design, there was no incentive for blacks to keep, save, or invest money. Under such conditions, blacks prudently developed a spend it as you get it culture that saved little and invest nothing that whites could easily loot. They want to call you the looter. Blacks work for low wages, and then on Friday, they return it all to white retailers because the system severely punished what would be considered wise financial behavior. Brothers and sisters, you need to get this book, How White Folks Got So Rich, and Truth, How Black Folks Got So Poor. And it's not by accident. It's not because we're incapable. It's not because we're stupid. It's because of the insidious satanic system of white supremacy. I mean, the more you study, the more that's being revealed, the more you begin to understand that you can't vote to change this system. You can't put Biden in over Trump. Even if he picks for a vice president, a black woman, that's not going to change this system. This system is so ingrained. This system is so ingrained in the fabric of every institution that the only thing that at this point is a viable option is separation. Either you go to destroy it, tear it down, which is a civil race war, or we separate. That is the peaceful solution that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan offer the white man. Because you will not win a war, even though you believe that you have the most powerful military technology that has ever been on the face of the planet Earth. But you can't stop a raindrop from falling. You can't shoot down a snowflake. You can't even stop gnats from driving you crazy. And that is just the least of God's weapon. There's a weapon that he will unleash on you that you have no way to defend yourself against. But you do what you got to do. But I would advise you to tune in July the 4th to hear the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, as I will be tuned in to hear the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to get divine guidance in these troubled times. So with that, brothers and sisters, may God continue to bless you and your family with the light of truth and understanding. And tune in every Tuesday on the National Network View, where I do an interview every Tuesday around 6 o'clock live for the Blaqsage Narrative Report. Once again, that's the NNV News, the Black Narrative Report. Tune in every Tuesday, and may God continue to bless you and your family with the light of truth and understanding. Assalamu alaikum. And you must get it, how white folks got so rich.